Hey guys, can you guys hear me? Boop, 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 boop.
Yes, sir, we can. We can hear you.
Yeah, I will. Hey Dave.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Oh wait. Now I unmuted myself. Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Whoa.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I had my
Awesome.
volume all the way up.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna close my curtain. I got my office here, and you can see it's a well painted wall. My assistant. Some people looking who's here. We got 13 people here. I don't know. Nobody we met in ASD, but my assistant painted my wall behind me, and then we got a curtain. So like I have like a little private nook area for my office. So it's pretty sweet. So I'm just getting everything set up. How are you doing tonight, Dave?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good. It's been a long day. I've been working on a lot of stuff, so.
Sweet.
Oh, you got that? Thank you so much, Jess. TA's being a little slow right now. So, so you guys can see, this is my my lovely curtain setup. So my office isn't, like I can kind of like not have to be like real loud in my office. So.
Is that a shower curtain?
No, it's not. It is like kind of a velvety material. I don't know what it's called, but it's nice.
Yeah.
It keeps the weirdos out of my office. Okay, she's done. But it's nice. I think we got it off Amazon or eBay. It was like $20 a panel, and
Nice.
yeah, eBay, and it does well for sound. So like my assistant can work and have her music on. So, so why don't we get started? I mean, it is 8 o'clock. I guess people will probably drop in. I'm recording. Okay, sweet. So if you guys don't know who Dave is, I met Dave in Nate McAllister's micro hustle. Wait a second. Okay. If you come in, other than Dave, if you could keep yourself muted, that would be really helpful. So anyway, I met Dave in Nate McAllister's micro hustle, and Nate actually said today that two out of or 1/50th of his micro hustle group were mutinying because he's doing a webinar right now. They didn't realize it, so we're actually going against Nate McAllister right now. But we'll share this. I'm sure people will be there. I mean, we got almost 20 people here. He'll have a good number, so everything will be shared anyway. But so Dave makes Bulkless Builder. If you guys, I'll show you guys real quick here what Bulkless Builder does. And I'm not trying to turn this, just so you guys know, I don't want to turn this into a big, promote a product session, but I will show this because this is really cool if you guys haven't seen it already. Let me share my screen real quick. Okay, so I'm on my Target here. One of my favorite sites to shop. We'll go to the men's section. So my computer, just so you guys know, it works a little bit strange on my computer. The reason is because I'm running Linux emulating Windows, okay? So sometimes things work a little strange for me, but it works very well for me. So what I do is I hit Alt, I right-click, and I can drag. I actually can't drag. You're supposed to be able to drag over it. It doesn't work for me because of my computer setup. But I can right-click on.
I think it's because you're doing some filters rather than actual links.
Oh, okay.
Links or not.
Okay, then let's do Walmart because I'm not doing. You don't do filters there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll come down here to the home improvement and patio. And what I can do here with this is if I don't want to sell, like, if I just want to do home automation, I hit Alt and I can select stuff, add link, add link, add link. I should be, so most of the time, and Dave can show this again, you can actually highlight over stuff. And then what I have up here is in my Bulkless Builder, okay, I hit download the links, and I have a bulk list. Okay, all ready for me right there. And that's it, so that's really cool. Bulk List Builder has really changed how I've been using TA, and Dave LaCroix created it. So I just want to share that right off the bat here for everybody. And we can, we'll be talking about the URL here. I'll share it right now in the chat. And Dave, did you do a discount for tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be $20 off if you use code BLB1.
Okay. And that's BLB1. So 20 bucks off tonight. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to have like a general tactical arbitrage discussion, kind of keep things loose. Do you want to talk about like what's your favorite part of what do you do most with TA, Dave?
I use product search the most, and I've been using reverse search a lot more recently. I don't do a lot with flips or library search. I know I should do more with library search because there's like so much opportunity there, but the main reason I made the extension was for the product search. So that's like what I use primarily. And the way that I like to use it is to go to different sites and look for the deals. Like I know you made a video a few days ago how you go on Ebates and look for certain deals. So I can just share my screen real quick.
Okay, let me real quick here. I need to make you a host real quick.
Oh, okay.
Okay, your host.
Sweet, awesome. So you see my screen now?
It'll take about 15 seconds.
Okay.
Yep, now we see it.
All right, so yeah, so I got this drop down here. Hang on. Oh, sorry. Okay, so yeah, so if I go to a site like Ebates, yeah, like you had mentioned yesterday, you like look for the deals or a few days ago. And that's what I like to do too, is like Macy's has 20% off. So I can just click right on the site here. And then what's really cool is like before, if you were to buy a bulk list, you'd have to look through all the sections to find the products that are on sale. But now I can just click right on this sale here, right on the website, which is really cool. So if I want to source kitchen stuff, I can just click here. And then the highlight feature you were talking about before, you just hold your control key. And then I just added all of these categories to my list. And I like to do that and go from site to site, adding different sales to my list. And then, once I get like 100 lines or whatever, I'll run that. And then while that's running, I can go to some more sites and make another list of 400 to have ready to scan once that scan ends. So
yeah, and I just did let me see here. I just did a big bulk list the other day, and I've been running a lot of bulk lists that I've been doing with Bulk List Builder, where I'm running like the main category that I'm actually interested in, but then throwing in a bunch of like, I'm calling them like garbage categories. I've been running like HEB a lot, that website. It's a grocery store out of Texas. I've been running, but you can make this big mix and then go into Bulk List Builder and then rearrange it once you're in Excel. And it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And another cool thing that I recently created is there's a few sites. Stop me if like this gets confusing or whatever. If like Macy's is one, and Target and Sears, where you don't use the full URL when you're running it through tactical arbitrage. So now I'm actually including with the purchase some spreadsheets that I made. Hang on a second. Which will actually convert the URL to the code you need for TA. So I have four of them. One's for Macy's. So then I can just go back to my bulk list I just made for Macy's, and I can just copy, I can copy and paste these links into the file that I made here. And it's just going to convert your links to the product code. So then you just copy and paste these back into your bulk list.
That's pretty cool. Now, Dave, one of the things that I've been doing, I don't know if you ever do this because, I mean, you're pretty big with bulk lists. Do you ever go through, or do you see any value, like when I'm doing like especially Kohl's? So most of my TA, I run a lot of Kohl's. What I do the most with is I'll do like from page 1 through 5 on every category. So like, let's say I pull 20 categories. I'll just do page 1 through 5. Then I go on and I'll do page 5 through 10. And then I'll do pages 10 through 50, and then 50 to 100. So I just get the complete on it. And what I found is I find most of my deals in the first 5 pages. Personally, I don't know why. So, and probably it's a relevance thing. I mean, they know that people aren't going to look through, but I like to go deep for the deals. So do you see any relevance, or have you ever done something like that where you'll do like page 1 through 5, then 5 through 10 and so on? Or is that nothing you do?
Yeah, I definitely do that. That's why I made it so you can set like your start and last page right in the bulk list builder menu. Yeah. So you can have that customization. And a lot of times, like I'll do exactly what you said, and I'll run 1 through 5, and then I'll have the same link again, like on the same list near the bottom. So that way I get through a lot of categories right away. And then near the end, you start going through like the products that are on the last 50 pages or whatever. And you don't waste a lot of time like scanning through one, because you can spend forever on one category if that's in the first row of your list.
Yeah. So, and the other thing that I think personally with that, I mean, yeah, I just think that you find better things that way. I mean, now one thing, some people ask me this, like, hey, what if there's no, page? What if it only goes up to 10 and you're telling it to scan from 50? TA automatically airs out to the next line in the CSV file. So if you tell it to start on 50 to 100, like let's say, and there's only 20 pages, it just gives an error and goes to the next thing. It takes like 5 seconds for it to resolve itself. So it's not, that big a deal. So Cody asked a question. He says, I find that scanning a bulk list takes forever versus breaking it up and scanning each set back to back. Is there a golden size to bulk list that does not harm time efficiency? What do you think about that?
I don't know. Like, I would probably say just to scan fewer pages if you want it to go faster and hit more categories. I don't know. I've had like really big bulk lists that go really fast, and then other ones that are super slow. So it's kind of hard to really like monitor it exactly and figure out what may be slowing a scan down. But I think in general, if you do fewer pages, I think it is good to do pages 1 through 5 and just hit a lot of categories, because like you said, you're probably going to find the most products there anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I'll give an example of this since we have people. Matt brings up a good point. The other factor is the site you're calling to. So I'm looking, I'm just taking a moment here to see if I can find something here, and I'll make a bulk list and show exactly how I do this, because I think like I just done a video like a week ago about like the things that like people fail at with tactical arbitrage. Now, right now I actually stopped the tactical arbitrage scan because I didn't want to be running a scan while I was doing this webinar. But for the most part, when I've asked other people like Nate McAllister or even Alex Moss, like, hey, how are people failing at tactical arbitrage? It comes back to, well, they're not running it. Like, if you run one page, you're not using it efficiently. You need to be using bulk lists. That's what's so important about this. So Dave, what I didn't really like, I introed your product, but while I'm pulling this up, you're a young guy. How old are you, Dave?
24.
24. Why are you doing this? Give us a little biography.
Well, I just graduated college like a year ago, and I got a job, and I actually got an internship at Disney World doing food and beverage there, and I just did not like it at all. And I was like, a couple months into it, you know, it was like a 7-month internship, but I was like, I just want to like do something for myself. So I started selling on Amazon in like September of last year. So I haven't really even been at this for a full year yet.
Okay.
And, you know, by the time my internship ended in January, I was making more money on Amazon than I was at my job. So I'm like, you know, I'm just going to try this for a couple months and like maybe I'll get a job again. But, you know, I've kept making money with it. So, and now I love doing it. So it's worked out really well for me. And just, I saw the opportunity to make this extension. I saw like the need for, I don't know, because I had found when I was making bulk lists that, you know, I had purchased some, but I'd always end up just making my own in the end because
Oh
I
yeah.
wanted to search where the deals were. And it would take forever to just like search through a pre-purchase list and find the exact section you're looking for. So I'm like, there's got to be a way that's faster than just copying and pasting everything.
Okay, well, you know what? Here, I'm going to take back host from you, and I'm going to set up a bulk list right now to run as we're doing this. And if anybody has any questions for me or Dave, please ask us, and you guys can watch. Like, this is exactly how I do it. So, oh, I do have, okay, I have, okay, so cancel. Okay. Okay, so one of the things that I like, so I am going to use bulk list builder for this. However, what I want to say is even if you're not going to use the product, like this still works. Like you don't have to have bulk list builder to make this work. It just saves you time. Now we're looking here at the small appliance section of Kohl's. I have no discounts right now. Kohl's is not doing much. Okay. I can get the Ebates and I'm going to like run a sale, like run a scan, set up the whole thing for you guys so you can see my process because I don't know if everybody knows how I use TA. So firstly, one of the things that I like to do is if you're, now I'm pretty much get brand unrestricted and everything, but what you can do with making a bulk list is these are searches, okay? But like, let's say I don't do Cuisinart or I don't do KitchenAid, okay? A lot of people are restricted in KitchenAid and Cuisinart. So it's a waste to scan those. So using, you know, whatever I want to do, whether I just want to open a new tab and grab the link that way, I can do that, but I can actually just pull these like that, okay, and start to pull, and then actually I did check, I messed that up. Okay. I'm on my laptop right now. Okay. So like I can pull that way, but let me show you guys here. I'm going to go into the department here. Just I really like the kitchen from Kohl's. So that's under home. Okay. And I can just kind of from there go wherever I want to go, prep and cook, shop all. Okay, so here's an example where I could, in theory, just pop this over that URL. I could put that URL into Tactical Arbitrage. It's 20,378 items, so that's a bit much. But, you know, if I want to look at like what's going to be, you know, kind of showing up like going to start to be popular here, let me actually just make a bulk list here and I'll show how I do it. So I'm grabbing these URLs that way. I could also hold down, grab it that way. Okay, so I got that. I'm going to add these. Okay, so I got now 15 links for bulk list builder. Okay, I don't mess around with the start page and the last page, but that's just me. So I thought about making a bulk maker companion app build while you don't have a laptop. Cody, what do you think? Explain that a little bit better. Because you're talking to the guy right now. Like, you know, come up with this, man.
What did I say?
Cody, you can unmute yourself if you want to talk, by the way.
So build lists on your phone. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they have Chrome extensions, because that's what this software is that you could use on your phone. Yeah, I just don't know enough about coding to answer that.
So one of the things about that I'm thinking just off the bat that would be my criticism of that idea is I don't think that, like, it's not that difficult to just plug in, like, if you're on the road, it's not that difficult to just grab a hotspot. You know, I use 4G hotspot all the time. So real quick here, this is the bulk list I ended up with. Now I'm using Open Office. Again, I could have made this using, just copying and pasting, but I had earlier done the home improvement from Walmart. So we'll leave that. I don't see a reason to not do that. Let's do 3. Okay. Not 21 inches, 3 inches. Okay. So you see, I'm starting to get this bulk list here. I'm going to delete all that stuff out. I don't need that. And you see, it's got everything I need. So I can run this mixed domain bulk list here. I'm going up to last page, but let me do this so that I can, for the sake of this video, actually get some stuff.
I'm not sure if those Walmart links will work because I think Walmart's another site that doesn't use the full URL.
Okay.
They've like changed it recently.
Well, let's see. Okay, you're right. Category number. Okay, yeah. So
I have a file that converts the Walmart ones as well, but it doesn't work 100% of the time, just because the links at Walmart are really weird. They're like not consistent at all. But I can give that one out as well if you guys want it. There's just a few situations where it doesn't completely work. Someone said, Chris, you looked at the wrong Walmart. Did you click the UPC one?
Okay. Okay, yeah, you're right. So let me leave those in for now. Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys how I make a bulk list. So whether this works or not, it doesn't really matter that much. So you see here, I'm start page 1, last page 3 on all of these. We all know that most of these are going to be longer than 3. So then what I do is I copy and paste down, and then I'll change that one to, I'll start on 4, and then go to, let's say, 10. Okay, and for 10, I know that there's a sort setting that I can go through, but okay, and then just for completion here, and this is like the thing I love about TA, like I'm gonna run this right now, and it's gonna run all night while I'm asleep, and hopefully find me plenty of profitable items. Okay, so that's how I make a bulk list, okay? Let's see if somebody said something here. Yeah, I did. Okay. Okay, so we got that. I'm going to save this. Bulk example. I know, like, probably a lot of people, like, I am kind of gearing this a little bit towards novice TA users. But so I am going to show my filters real quick that I use. Upload. Okay, so it's all formatted correctly, so that's nice. Okay, I don't have to put a start row in. So my filters, because like I had shown these live and people were like, oh wow, I didn't realize how loose you set your filters. Or I showed these, hey Dave, how much is the extension right now?
It's 129, so with the discount, it'll be 109.
Yeah. So for these, I don't, at this point with Kohl's, there's no discount. There's technically a 5% discount. And I could buy, you know, from Ray's and calculate out a discount on my Kohl's purchase, but I'm not going to. I've actually suggested several times to Alex to make you be able to, oh, I don't want to. The problem with my laptop is when I'm running Zoom and it's recording my screen, it lags down my video card. So I'm only getting like 10 frames per second, or 10, yeah, something like that. So it gets a little slow. So I could technically I'd get a 1%, then like 8.5 off with Kohl's, but I'm going to leave it how it is for now. So I'm not going to do any store price reduction, even though I could. Sales tax, now I could do that. Again, you know, I assume that people know that you can get sales tax reimbursed to you, or you have tax exempts, like with tax exempts at Walmart. You can't do tax exempt with Kohl's, but you can in most states get sales tax reimbursed to you. You can deduct it on your taxes also. And also, you know, if you're using a tax-free prep center, that would be a strategy. So I'm going to do that at 0. I don't set this because, you know, I've sold like Hatchimals when there are 1,000 sellers, Pie Face when there's 1,000 sellers. It didn't slow those sales down any. Remove third-party sellers from results. I will mess with this sometimes on Walmart. For the most part, I don't, because Walmart's actually pretty good at kicking people off if they're price gouging. So I don't run into overpriced stuff too much on Walmart. It does happen. Remove oversize. I have no idea why anybody would do that.
Hey, Chris.
Okay. Yes, Dave.
So for when you source at Kohl's, do you ship everything to yourself? Because I've actually sourced there before and tried to send it to a prep center, and they did not allow it at all. So I was wondering.
Okay. So you're asking a good question. So real quick, Dave, I'll answer your question. Sam says 350,000 sales rank. Heck yes. So here's why I do that. You know, you look at stuff. Yeah. Do I want to buy stuff that has a 350,000 sales rank? No, I don't. But, you know, there's so many situations, especially in home improvement, automotive, toys, where you'll just see these crazy Keepa charts. And I just want to analyze things rather than letting tactical arbitrage do it. Tactical arbitrage isn't really designed for that. So I'd rather them show me garbage than accidentally not show me a diamond. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as Kohl's goes, Dave, between me and Tyler last year, we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars at Kohl's, like a lot. Okay. I am currently banned off Kohls.com, and so is Tyler, I do believe. So what we have done, I will go more in depth with this at a later date, but I have figured out a way to get around those restrictions with Kohl's. Okay.
Oh, cool.
And I do not use my address.
Yeah.
That might be a clue to people that are following along how I'm doing it. So, but yeah, so that sales rank at 350, and that's also the average 30-day. I mean, you know, we might run into something, you know, it's June right now. We might find something that's like a killer September seller. And it's just like starting to get a little bit of momentum now and won't like really be good until back to school, you know, because, you know, back to school's coming up in August, September. But there's also kids like that are buying stuff now. Like you just don't know. So there's so much out there that I can't predict that I let the filter real loose. Remove out of stock. Now, I understand why people would set this. What I do now, I'm on my video screen right now. I have multiple accounts on my computer. My personal sourcing account, I have tabs all across the top here with like Walmart out of stock, Walgreens out of stock, Kohl's out of stock. I also set out of stock reminders on sites that you can do that with. So I come back to those, and at any given time, we'll check out of stock stuff. Also, to go back to the sales rank, I want to show you guys 2 products here. I actually saved these just to show you guys. Okay, so we got these 2 products here. Let's not even look at the Keepa charts. So we got one product here is $95K in pet supplies, and the other one's $150K. But you look at these sales charts, and they tell 2 very different stories. Okay, so this one that's $95K. Let's remove the price here. Okay, we're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bumps in 3 months. So that's selling about 2 a month. We see this one, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in 3 months. So it's selling almost double in theory. The sales rank moves twice as often per the same amount of time, yet the sales rank is much worse. And that's why I set that sales rank so loose, because I want to look at this, I want to analyze this. And that's to answer that question. So back here to my run here, remove if less than X reviews. I don't care. I'll look at it. Remove if Amazon is also a seller and currently in stock. I love when Amazon's on a product, because if I can get enough of an ROI to cut under Amazon a little bit, I'll get the buy box on them. I have 100% feedback. I do okay. And I do get the buy box from Amazon. So I don't know why people think you can't ever get the buy box from Amazon when you totally can. This is one of the silliest features that I see people set all the time, and it blows my mind. This said, remove if Amazon contains no weight or size data. What that means is that nobody's ever FBA'd it. So if you set that, you're only going to see things that people have ever FBA'd. There's so many times I find a product where I'm like, oh, nobody's ever FBA'd this. It sells okay as merchant fulfilled. You can go in and fulfill it FBA, and next thing you know, you have a crazy seller on your hands. Okay? If rating is lower, again, I don't care. I'll sell crap that has a 1-star rating. If it has a high enough ROI, but it has a 50%, if it has a 100% ROI, but a 50% return rate, you're still making money. So actually, by the way, my math on that's a little wrong, but even if it has a 10%, return rate or something like that, you're still making money. Now I will sometimes set this one in grocery where like, I don't want to sell add-on items. They sell real slow. So like I might set that one, but that's about it. I don't mess with any of these. My cost per pound to ship to Amazon, that's 20 cents. That's actually a little high, but that's what I keep it at. I do mess with this. This is really good to find stuff that's going to be like hot selling in December or, October candy, Easter candy, Halloween candy. And then I set this pretty low. I don't like to buy stuff with a $3 profit and a 33% ROI, but I'll still set it, especially when I'm running a bulk list, because I'm running with no discounts. So technically I'm getting like a 10% discount from Kohl's, but I'm not accounting for it. So I'd rather do the accounting myself. And I do set no match sometimes, but I want this to be quick because I want to get results while I'm on this video. And I'm not going to do that. I was doing that last night, but that's it. That's how I set it, scan in tactical arbitrage.
Yeah, I would say for the 350K rank, I've found stuff before that's above that, especially in like home and kitchen, where it'll sell right away when it gets into Amazon above 350K. So.
Oh yeah. And I mean,
I've had
especially
products at like 600 before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And especially with like toys, toys can be so collectible, and like I've run like Disney scans where I've picked up like these little weird esoteric toys that I'm like, oh, nobody's ever going to buy this. And, you send it in and you realize, oh, it's out of stock on Amazon, and you can see that with Keepa. So, it works pretty well. Cody says just subtract 200K rank if no FBA. Yeah, you're probably not wrong. You're probably not wrong. Now, so I do a lot of grocery. Like that's kind of like I'm doing a lot with clothing and a lot with grocery. And both of those categories are categories where there's a lot of merchant fulfillment. And, it does definitely help. It definitely does help to do FBA. So, and I do run into that a lot where there's no info on it. So, yeah. So, Dave, what do you like when you run TA? Like, how do you set it? Like, something similar, or is there any things you tweak it differently?
Yeah, I have it almost exactly how you have it.
Do you want to show yours?
Yeah.
Are you running a scan? Here,
Yeah, I'm running a scan right now. So, but I can show you my last used.
Okay.
Can you see my screen all right?
Yes, we can.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, I pretty much leave everything empty. And then I do $5 profit. Sorry, it's going really slow. 25% ROI. I guess it depends on the category though. Sometimes I'll go to 20 or 30. But especially if I have no discounts up at the top, I'm just going to do 20%. And then I can probably get something else on top of that, whether it's cash back or a gift card. And ever since Alex added the feature where you can check out of stock products in your settings, I always leave this unchecked now. I used to do remove out of stock, but I don't anymore. And then I just leave prep at $1.10. That's kind of like a conservative estimate, I guess. And I do have my cost per pound of ship like pretty high right now. So
yeah, but you're down in Florida, right, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah, but where are you shipping to? Texas?
I ship pretty much everywhere.
Okay.
I'm in a lot of different prep centers or FDA centers.
I'm lucky I'm in central Pennsylvania, and almost, I would say 90% of my stuff goes to AVP, which is maybe 3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shaq says, hey, Shaq, how's it going? Also show Amazon out of stock. So that's like, I don't know why people would set that, because like I would love to sell stuff that's Amazon out of stock. Actually, you do have a feature for only Amazon out of stock. So that's stuff where Amazon is a seller, but they're currently out of stock. So you can filter either see those or not see those.
Yeah, those are the best products when you can find out of stock stuff.
Yeah, so yeah. Does results still show even when you set minimum profits? Yeah, so Nikia, I actually will sometimes set it with 0 and 0. There's a couple stores that like I've run wholesale. So one of the things that people don't realize, you can use tactical arbitrage to get the ASINs for wholesale things. So let's say I have a huge list of, I get 25,000 UPCs in a list, okay? And that's all I have. I have 25,000 UPCs. Let's say UPCs and prices. I have 2 columns in a spreadsheet. I can run it through TA as a reverse search and turn off all of the stores in the reverse search, and then it'll populate the UPCs with the matched ASINs, okay? And you set it with 0 profit to do that. I'll show it here. So I upload that, I put a bulk list in, and where's the store settings? Yeah, so you can set, I'm trying to find.
Yeah, Chris, can you share your screen?
Oh, yeah. I haven't done this in a while. Do you remember in a reverse search how to limit the
The sites?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the settings.
Which ones? Oh, in settings?
Yeah.
Actually, whoa. Let me stop sharing that real quick. You're about to see all of my keys. Okay, yeah, so you go in, okay, so I can show this here. So this is under the settings and then searching, and you can deselect all, okay? So if I had a list of UPCs that I wanted to search, now I can go in and it'll throw me back a list with the ASINs in it. Nakia, I'm talking about like if you go to like a wholesaler or stuff. So like a lot of wholesalers will just give you a list of like, here's what we got. I have one, but I have one, but I don't want to show it because it's like, I hate to be like cagey about it, but it's like, it is, you know, that's the kind of stuff I don't want to share because it's sources. But from, yeah, look in the settings and then there's that setting there that I just showed. So the thing with UPCs is a lot of times when you're getting like wholesale accounts, they'll just give you, you know, a list of the UPC, a product description, and then the price or like the quantity, the minimum orders and that kind of stuff. So you can go into Excel and delete everything out of it you don't need and just make a list of just the UPC and just the price and then get the ASIN that way and then go from there with it as it, you know, see what's a match and what's not a match, because like then you can start to make these big lists to get wholesale stuff where you're going to be able to scan faster, or you can kind of do parts of it manually. Dave, what are you what are your thoughts about selling low-rated products and getting bad reviews on your seller product about the product? Has this happened to you? So Pat asked that, and so yeah, that's definitely a problem that does happen. With that, a product review on your seller account should be able to be removed. Now, Amazon's being a bit of a pain in the butt about that lately. Have you run into that, Dave?
I haven't had one in a while, but it happened to me a couple months ago, and I had no problem removing it.
Yeah.
Once they.
Yeah, and I sell a lot of clothing, so I get a lot of order didn't fit, not the color I thought it was, this tastes gross. Well, less for clothing I get this tastes gross, but I do get that for, you know, grocery quite a bit.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff is typically pretty easy to get rid of. So, you know, yeah, they remove it pretty well. So, did anybody else have any questions? Oh, Dave says, what's the name of your prep center again? It's just my prep center. It's like I do prep. Well, I have a full-time employee that works for me, and she's the manager of my prep. And then I have part-time employees that come in as she needs them. So it's just all private in-house prep. And you know, a lot of people, I was just talking to somebody, actually I was talking to Cody about this earlier, and we were talking about OA and prep. Dave, do you use a prep center at all?
Yeah, I have one that I use in Montana. So that's a tax-free state, so it's awesome for me.
What kind of volume are you moving every month? How many units a month?
It's about 200 or 300.
Okay,
but, I do a lot of retail arbitrage though, and I do all the prep for that myself.
Yeah, so see, my thing is like I'm selling 2,500 to 3,000 units a month is a pretty typical month for me. So the thing is I figure a prep center, how much do you pay per unit for prep?
It's $1, and then it's like another 20 cents if there's like a poly bag.
Yeah, so see, I've had, and I don't know, you know, anything about prep centers, like I've never used one. So as far as like a dollar, so it'd be $1.20. If I'm selling 3,000 units, that's $3,600. Now, I live in an area where the rent on my 1,200 square foot office is $250 a month. My employees are paid well, but they're not paid $3,600 a month. You know what I mean? It's actually very cheaper. It's much cheaper, in my opinion. To do it this way, because also when I get, wholesale, I have a product that I'm getting almost a pallet delivered, and this is going to be a private label product. I want it prepped how I want it prepped. Like, I'm going to stand there and prep it with, well, I mean, my employees are every bit as good, if not better than I am. So the point is that I want the quality control. And for a private label product, I feel that quality control is so critical. So, and that's a problem I see a lot of people run into. And I've gotten
also an advantage because you can like see all the physical products before you send them in. If like a website sends you the wrong thing, like my prep center is not going to necessarily know that, and they could end up sending in a product that doesn't match the listing.
Yeah, and I just had a product come into me from JCPenney, and it just looks like it went through a washing machine is the best way to describe it. And would a prep center grab it, catch that? No. Did my manager did the person that does my management for me catch it? Absolutely, it's going back, So that's really, I think, what is so valuable. So Ariel says, it's not relevant to where we are now, but I'm interested in the wide range of obscure sites and whether worth it to focus on those where a retailer might dump product, and so theoretically a hit could result in being able to buy at a much bigger size. Yeah, so my biggest replens are not Kmart, not Target, not the top 10 sites. I'm doing sites that you've probably never heard of, okay? And that's that the amount of stuff that you can the amount of sites, there's 375 sites in tactical arbitrage right now. I think it's 375. Out of those sites, like, there's so much that's not scanned. Like going back to people coming to me and saying, hey, Chris, I'm using tactical arbitrage. I'm, not finding anything good. What's going on? And I'm like, okay, well, are you running it all the time? Are you saying your discount's right? And are you just running it on Walmart? Because a lot of people are like, oh, I run it on Walmart. They buy a bulk list for Walmart and they're done. But Kohl's isn't one, I'm big on Kohl's. It's not one that comes up that often, actually. I'm shocked about, but it's a great place to shop. And there's other ones that, are equally good as Kohl's and you've probably never heard of. And it's just fantastic to get out of that area. So do you do anything with expats, Dave?
I do not know. I honestly, when it comes to XPath, I don't see all that much value in doing it unless you can code yourself. Because there's so many sites out there that TA already has. But I don't know. I'm sure people have different opinions on it. But
yeah. I've bought a few. Sean Mayo's bulk lists that he sells and the XPaths he sells, they're fine. I've bought them before. They're good quality products, so they're fine.
Yeah, I have a couple of them. If you find a site that you really think would be good for what you sell, I think it's worth it. But
yeah, I think that one of the things that's so critical, and I've mentioned this before, and I think so many people underestimate this, is when you start to really understand how a site works, you can start to manipulate the pricing on that site to your advantage. They did Walgreens just did a sale where you got 20 times your rewards back, plus you got buy two get one on a bunch of stuff. It was basically 54% off after Ebates, Raise, their discount, and then the gift card back. Okay, it was 54% off. I was running TA with that, and that's stacking. Kohl's, they'll do 30, then 20 back, and then they'll do all this stuff, and it's like 45% off. Okay, And if you start to understand a site, like you start to really understand Walgreens, you start to understand Rite Aid. Rite Aid has a similar program, the Plenty program. You start to understand, Kohl's, Walgreens, Walmart, anywhere. You will do so well. I will tell you this right now, there does exist an app already that makes XPaths automatically for any site. It's not public though. It's not a public, it's not publicly available yet. And it works real well. Sam says they will stop it for retailers, the rewards. Yeah. Well, my manager at Walgreens is really awesome to me. I help her hit her bonuses, so she likes it. She likes me very well. I cash out bonuses as often as possible. I try not to let them build up. I ended up with $1,400 in Walgreens rewards points about a week ago, and I got them, taken care of into $50 gift cards. So, yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking. So here's a new one for more Amazon related. We do electronics, and the guy was handling returns today and just floored at what Amazon sent back. For example, in one box, the label listed 2 tablets, 256 gig that came without the box cable or anything. In fact, one was a 4-year-old model, 32 gigabyte. One was 64 gigabyte with broken door, completely gone. One manufacturer box didn't even have anything in it. Is this the norm? We do electronics. So are you asking, like, does Amazon let people send in returns that's like garbage stuff like that? Absolutely. And that's an unfortunate thing, and I'm dealing with right now, where Amazon sent in a whole bunch of stuff where they do, where they slapped, I sent in Nikes. They sent my customer a Nike shoebox with the label on the Nike shoebox and a rubber band holding the box together. And the customer ended up with a Nike shoebox and no shoes. So, they do really squirrely stuff. Okay, so Matt F. just shared Sellers Essentials. It's a list of the prep services, so that's pretty awesome. Yeah, Ariel, I've gotten back used shoes. I've gotten back used bras in returns. It's pretty gross what they'll let people send in, and then you have to open a case with it, and it's a big pain in the ass. One thing I will tell you, though, about returns like that is consider the glass half full on them, okay? At least where I am, I do a lot with auctioning, and I've taken, gotten back a pair of damaged work boots and stuff. Like, I've gotten back, like, $400 Fry work boots where, somebody swapped an old pair, and I've been able to take them down to the auction and sell them for, like, $30-40. So I'm reimbursed for my cost. I'm made whole, and then I get that extra little bit out of them. Sell somebody's used shoes that send them to me from Amazon. It's a weird business when you think about it. But yeah, so do you run into that a lot? Oh, Sam says, or resell it on Amazon as news. These were not worth that. And now, a lot of people don't know this. You can actually sell used clothing and used shoes on Amazon. Although yes, you technically can, I do not believe that Amazon is the correct marketplace for that. I don't really like to sell used things on Amazon. This is a bag full of iPhones that I picked up. Okay. And I'm going to be selling these. These are going on Amazon because they're all brand new. So it's 5 iPhone 6 Pluses. 6 Pluses. So, would I sell used product on Amazon? Yeah, I do it sometimes, but not often. I buy used products on Amazon all the time, though. Love it.
Yeah, usually if I get something back that's like missing a tag or whatever, I'll just put it on eBay. And I can usually make back most, if not all, of the money that I spent on it, at least.
One thing I will say, I don't know how true this is, but a lot of people talk about not wanting to sell anything without the UPC. So, like, even if you get a new clothing product where it's just missing the tag or something like that, and you've, like, exactly matched it, you can technically get into a problem with authenticity claims because that UPC is really technically what you're buying. It's like this weird concept where you're technically buying the UPC because that's your proof of purchase. So you're not buying the product, you're buying the UPC, which kind of like is a weird thing when you think about it, because it almost makes it seem like if you clip the UPC off something and stole the something, you're not stealing the UPC. So it's like this weird legal thing. I don't know. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, it's kind of proof that what you have is actually authentic.
Yeah. So, okay, so Ariel says, we have return software that helps manage it, but so many of these get rejected by Amazon, and we need to go back again, etc. We log the pics, etc. I am just so shocked because it's one thing to not have a cable, but to send back an empty box or send back a 32 instead of a 256 without the original box. I don't know. I guess I'm amazed. Does Amazon accept that shit for their own sales too? Yeah. So, like, I had somebody. Do you remember? I don't know if you, Dave. Do you play video games?
I do not know.
Okay. I do, but like only PC. So there was this thing. It was the gold Herol edition Zelda 3DS. Okay, and it was like a bigger 3DS, it had better processor, and they come out with it. It's like $150 in store immediately, of course. And there's like every Walmart got like 4 of them or something dumb like that. One of my friends was able to pick up like 3 of them or something like that. So he immediately sends them in the FBA, gets them sold. He makes a ton of money off of it. Well, people return them all with old Nintendo DSs in them. So an old DS is worth like $20. So they literally threw a $20 DS in it and shipped it back to Amazon. There's whole Reddit guides on how to steal from Amazon. The process, the quick and easy guide to stealing from Amazon. No, I mean, I don't mean it that way, but so you guys understand the return process in case you've never done a return as a customer. So I buy this phone from Amazon. It's in a box. Here, I'll actually use a real phone. So I buy this phone from Amazon, okay? And what I do is I print out the label for it. You know, I say, hey, I don't want this. They say, hey, is it in the same condition? I put yes, you know, whether it is or isn't. And then I go to the UPS store, and as soon as UPS scans this label that's, you know, the box, you know, that this is in, they issue me the refund. So what people will do is they'll take this iPhone 6 Plus and they'll swap a broken iPhone 4 in it because it's the same weight, okay? Close the box, send it back. Now they have the iPhone 6, but I have the used iPhone 4 with the cracked screen. And that's the problem. And, you know, Amazon does that. So the thing is that, like, people are doing this and they're getting real sophisticated with, you know, stolen credit cards and burner credit cards and one-time use credit cards. And Amazon's response on this, and this is so ridiculous, is basically every Amazon seller or every Amazon buyer account gets one fraudulent return. Okay, the second one, you lose your account. Now, for me, I've had the same Amazon Prime account for like a decade. Okay, I've had Amazon Prime almost since it came out. Okay, so I don't want to lose my account. But what's it take to get an Amazon account? An email, which is free, and then, you know, typing your name into a box. Like, it's so dumb. So real quick here, I'm in the wrong biz. I got tons of garbage to put in an envelope instead of a $1,000 tablet, and then sell the tablet for, yeah. And the problem is with that is they're like literally Google, Reddit, how to steal from Amazon. Okay. And if Amazon's, you know, if Amazon, you know, wants to lose money, please, Amazon, lose all the money you want. But when it's a third-party seller, and I don't know if people think that there's a lot of people, you know, that just have the attitude as soon as somebody's in business, they're rich and you can rip them off and nobody cares. Of course, that's not true. So now Larry says, do either of you use tactical arbitrage to find RA finds? Absolutely. So what you can do, where I ran into this recently, was a Target sale that they were running. And it was a particular sale, and none of the stuff, retail arbitrage. So instead of things you buy online, you buy them in store. This particular sale, almost all of the things that were online were sold out, but I was able to find them locally for myself to pick up, go in, do in-store pickup. Now, for something like that, you can set this feature, the TA feature, to not show out-of-stock products. No, it would only show, yeah, I guess you can't really do that. So you just need to look at the listing, and sometimes you'll see like, you'll see that it's out of stock, like online. I see that with Kohl's and Target all the time, and also Walmart. Do you ever do that to find RA stuff, Dave?
I do not know. I've had a couple situations where like I'll find something, it'll be in store only, but then usually when I put like my zip code in, it's like nowhere near me. So
Okay.
I haven't run into that yet, but I certainly would if I was able to find something in store that I found on TA. But I don't like look specifically for RA stuff on TA.
Yeah, I mean, I do and I don't. The one thing I do like about the idea of doing RA through TA is that you're much more restricted in what you can buy, and that means other people are also, in theory. Now, the problem with that, you know, I live in central Pennsylvania. There's a Target half an hour from my house, a Target half an hour from my house in two directions, and there's like no Targets. There's one Walgreens within 100 miles of me, you know, like that kind of crap. So the problem is that you go up to like Indiana, and in Indiana, there's an area of Indiana where there's 100 Kohl's within 60 miles. So, you know, you know, yeah, I mean, unless I'm there, you know, that's, yeah, it's tough. Yeah. And it's like 200 Rosses or 300 Walgreens. Like, yeah, everybody needs to move there, you know? So that's kind of something to keep in mind. You know, if you live in a nicely populated area, you know, it'll probably work pretty well. What I use mostly for my RA finds, though, is BrickSeek. Do you use BrickSeek, Dave?
I do not have it now.
No?
I should get it though.
It's free.
Is this the Chris Grant's extension or the
Nope.
website?
Well, there is an extension for it. The website. I don't have Chris Grant's extension. Can we send Chris Grant a message that Chris Anderson keeps talking about your extension?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll show you guys how this works here. Here. Okay, I'll show you guys. So I got this phone here, and I will give you guys a bolo right now, since I love all of you. I need to find, I'm going to search using the UPC. This is for an iPhone 6 Gold, 64 gig. 885-909-971-602. Now, just so you guys know, just a little heads up for you. Also, in case anybody knows zip codes, I'm not using my zip code. I'm using a zip code that might actually, Dave, what's your zip code?
32821.
Okay, now, just so you guys know, Warp is the system that Walmart uses for phones. This is not particularly accurate for phones and BrickSeek, so it may give us a bad result. But let's see if there's any of these phones available near you, Dave.
Awesome. If there are, I'm going to go pick them up tomorrow.
You should. Okay, so none in your area.
Damn.
Let's do 08034. It's New Jersey. That's a real populated area. Okay, so these are $349 in Walmart. Now that's zero limited stock. I bet you dollars to donuts they got them. So let's see what this is going for on Amazon. Payout on this is $584 on Amazon. So you make $230 on this sale, and it'll sell pretty quick for you. Okay, so that's BrickSeek. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess iPhones are rough, but Cody, I know that you did pretty. I'm not going to blow up your spot, Cody, but I know you did pretty well with phones, so we won't talk about that publicly. But Cody did pretty well with another phone. Um, but yeah, so with BrickSeek, also, if you find something, you're at a Walgreens or a Walmart, you find something, you're like, wow, crap, this is great. You can just type the UPC into BrickSeek and see if it's locally available to you at the same price. Okay. So just remember that. I mean, it's a very, very handy tool. So, did anybody else have any more questions here?
Sam says, I don't think it's worth the time to do RA.
You don't?
What do you think about that?
Well, I do a lot of RA, so that should answer the question. I mean, it's difficult to say it's not worth the time when I go into a Walmart and I buy a bag full of iPhone 6s that's worth, going to make me $1,000, and it takes me an hour. It's hard to look at $1,000 for an hour of work and say, nah, not worth it. It's difficult. Now, if you're good at it, RA can be making you hundreds of dollars an hour. But you got to keep in mind, the costs of it. If let's say I go on an RA trip, I like to go on RA trips. So I drove up to Wisconsin to hang out with Tyler. Okay. So I get about it costs about $500 in gas and tolls for me to drive from central Pennsylvania to central Wisconsin. Okay. And I can crash along the way. I have people, so I stay for free along the way, unless my car breaks down, which happened the last time I did it. Now, once I get up there, okay, I have $500 now that I need to profit. You need to look at how long was I gone. So if I'm gone 5 days, I need to, look at how many hours it was. But even if I just, run over to Target, let's say a realistic one, that's a dumb example. If I run over to Target, so I leave my office, I drive 10 minutes over to Target, and then 10 minutes down to Walmart, and then 10 minutes down to Ross. And each one I'm in the store an hour. So I'm out 3 hours. And I buy, $1,000 worth of stuff. When I do RA, my goal is always 100% or better. That's my average on RA. So if I spend $1,000 in 3 hours, that means I made $1,000 for 3 hours of work. I made $333 an hour. Now, once I come back, if I'm going to prep it myself, then I need to look, at how much am I doing, for the prep on that. For bra prep can be pretty slow, but the ROI is high. So if it then takes me 3 hours to prep that $1,000 worth of buy cost, then I'm at, 116.66 an hour. It's still not bad. Or I can have somebody else do it and I pay them. I look at their hourly rate, I subtract that, and then while they're prepping, I go out and do more sourcing, or vice versa. Or I go sourcing and they go sourcing, or, some variation of that. And I think that if you can get RA down to being a well-oiled machine, I was talking to Kim and Perry, Conklin. Oh man, I can't remember. It's like Conklin. They're the people down in Texas. Okay. Kim and Perry, and they're so awesome. And I was talking about, how, what do you value your time at? Yeah, they have 13 kids, I think, not 15 kids, but they should get a reality TV show because they're so cool. Like, they are really cool, and their kids are really cool. But anyway, I was talking to them, like, what is their hourly rate? And they're making, like, when they're doing RA, it's several $100s an hour, and it's really tough to, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just tough to look at that and say it's not worth it. Okay, Sam says, I don't understand if I get banned from a department store. Is that what you're asking? Well, we're not done yet. Like, we're going to do some drawing activities where we just draw things, and we're going to play charades. I'll show you guys magic tricks. Check that out. I mean, you don't know how I'm doing that. Check that out. What?
That's crazy.
I know. If you're talking about like if Target blocks me, well, I think that the most important thing with Target blocking, so like officially Kohl's and Target are anti-reseller. My Kohl's loves me because they know, they know what I'm doing. Okay, they know that I'm selling stuff. I don't know that they know that I sell stuff online or on Amazon, but they know I sell stuff online. But they look at it as like I come in, I'm buying clearance inventory, I'm getting rid of their dead inventory. They've held stuff for me. They've let me go and scan racks of bras that were in the back, that kind of stuff. So, it's interesting, that people have that problem. I think that a lot of it comes down to your attitude. I know a local reseller that was banned from Target because what she discovered was you could buy things on Target.com, then return them in store. And then Target would put them back on the shelf on clearance with like a 30% off sticker on them. So then she'd go back in and buy them. Okay, so she was getting a 30% discount. Well, Target got wise to her real quick and banned her for life from the store. So it's kind of an interesting thing, does she deserve that? Yeah, absolutely. She was defrauding the company. But if you go in, you're not making a mess. I don't have too much of a problem. I mean, I'm blocked right now from Kohl's, but I still buy from Kohl's. I have 10 Kohl's accounts. That's what it takes. I mean, you just got to Target.com. I haven't been banned from Target.com, and I buy a dumb amount of stuff. Yeah, I've talked to Butch before. Butch is really killing it with RA, and he's down south. I don't know if Butch wants me to say where he is, but I'm really envious of how well Butch is doing, because he is kind of in a rural area down south, and he's able to like go to a town and see, his towns are a little bit closer, so he can go into a town and just kill it in the town and then come home, and that is really powerful. I mean, that's the thing, like me and my assistant, we spent almost $10,000 in one trip. I want to say like a month ago, and we were only gone for one night. We left on Friday. We were going to come back Sunday. We ended up coming back Saturday night because we were just exhausted and the van was full. And I hit what my goal was. So RA is very, very worth it. You do RA, Dave? Like, how much would you say is RA versus OA?
I probably do like 60% RA right now. And there's just one store that I do most of my RA at. And like you said, like I have a good relationship with the store there, and they started limiting like how much people could buy, because a lot of people were like returning stuff, and someone apparently tried to return like $30,000 worth of stuff. It wasn't me, but so they limited it. But there are certain managers when I go in there that they'll let me buy as much as I want. So
yeah,
I do like really well at one store, and then that's where I get like most of my products. So if you put in the research and then find one place that you can get a lot of stuff over and over, I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, replens are really good. One of the important things that I've worked for is like working out relationships with managers. Because keep in mind, if you go into a Walmart and you spend $5,000 because you're buying, pallets of replens or something like that, that's helping them hit their daily sales goal, their weekly sales goal, their monthly sales goal. They're getting bonuses on you. And, especially if like I've worked out deals not with my local a local Walmart to me, where the manager wasn't even putting stuff out on the shelves. Like, and this was like the hot toys. These were like Hatchimal. This is 2 years ago this happened. So it was some sort of Minecraft toy. And I talked to him. He's like, yeah, it was also Pie Face. He's like, I don't want to even put it out because it's going to just cause problems. So just come and get them. And I filled my car with pie face, Minecraft swords or pickaxes or whatever, and some sort of Minecraft stop motion thing. And like, they just didn't want to put it out because it wasn't going to be worth it for them. And I was able to get that and get in and get out, and with, very little employee time involvement, so he could have the employees doing other things. He's just standing there. He's a salary employee. He's not costing the company anything to do that, and he gets the money for it. So it works very, very well for him.
And Walmart, you can use your reseller's license too, right?
Yeah, your tax cert.
Yeah.
I don't use that very often because in my state, clothing and grocery, which are my number 1 and 2 categories, both tax-free.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, OA is great. Like, I don't know. I like OA. I've been trying to do more with wholesale. I'm launching 2 private label products. Like, literally just placed the orders within the last couple days. And I'm hoping to have them done by, maybe have them into Amazon by the end of the month. But at the end of the day, I mean, I was just talking to my assistant about this, talking to the lady that does my management here, and I'm trying to go down in my number of items that I have for sale, my number of SKUs. I have like 1,500 SKUs right now. I've been trying to go down, but it's just, yeah, there's benefits to doing that. But then I talked to her and she's like, well, why is that good? And then I'm just like, oh, crap, it is kind of hard to justify because like I go into a Target and I pick something up that's, $75 selling on Amazon for $250. Like, it's so hard to pass up. Hey, Butch and Cody, you're both close to each other. I know where they both live, so this might get interesting. We might have to watch Butch and Cody like RA fight to the death.
I also wanted to ask you. I tried doing wholesale like a couple months ago. I did like a bunch of research on it and stuff, and I reached out to some actual companies, not like wholesale companies, but I reached out to like the brand owners. And at the time, I wasn't really selling enough to like justify buying products for them because the margins were lower. Do you find that like when you do wholesale, the margins tend to be a lot lower than arbitrage?
Well, I mean, if you're doing like clearance arbitrage, when I'm picking up an iPhone, I don't know what an iPhone 6 cost Walmart, but I don't think it was $150. Okay. I think it was a lot more than that. So I'm getting it way below wholesale, and if you're expecting that all the time with with wholesale, you're not going to find it. But that being said, there are wholesale and liquidation, and when I'm talking liquidation, I'm talking about buying overstocks, pallets of products, stuff like that, closeouts, that kind of stuff, where I have found products that are well over 100% ROI. With really good ranks. I have found it. So with wholesale, you are going to be getting a lower ROI. There's been times where like I have a wholesale account for one particular product. It's a line of products. Okay. So I could buy it wholesale. I have the wholesale account, but I also have a website that I buy it from, OA. And with OA, I get Ebates, I get discounts that they run, I get free shipping, I get all these discounts. It's like almost like 20% off, and the price is the same. So literally the store price is the same as the wholesale price. So they must be doing a lot of bulk on that, and so it's tough that way. But at the same time, I've done very well with like wholesale stuff, like a little bit more locally, where there's like local warehouses or local distributors. I think probably if you're contacting brand owners, you're probably going too high up, okay? Because what you want to look for is like a distributor that's like selling 20 brands, because then they're going to be moving in so much bulk that they can offer you a good discount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
You're actually in Florida. You're in the liquidation grocery capital of the country.
I know. Yeah, I gotta get ungated in grocery still.
Come on, dude.
I know. I had like um a response time over 24 hours, and
Oh,
and so I had to wait like 90 days, and that period like just ended. So I'm like gonna get ungated in it now, or at least
yeah.
try to.
You got to do it. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
One of the things I will tell you is, you know, a lot of people, they always are annoyed about the spam emails that we get. You know, I will be your SEO rancor and that kind of crap. Because you just hit no reply needed, that means you responded to it in like, you know, 30 seconds or whatever. So it actually really drives down your response time. Like I was looking at my response time, and my average response time is 15 minutes. And
Yeah.
like that's crazy because I hardly ever respond to messages. So because they're
Yeah.
almost always like, you know, hey, I have a video game blog. Will you mail me a pair of headphones? No,
hmm
you know.
Yeah, I didn't realize when I was first starting out that that was like an option. I was just learning how to sell on Amazon. So
Okay.
yeah.
So what are you looking for? You know, you develop this awesome software. Where are you going from here? Like, what's your next step?
I'm actually looking into getting a VA now to help me do online arbitrage and hopefully get into some wholesale as well.
Yeah, the wholesale's really, I don't do a ton with wholesale right now, but I'm looking to do more with wholesale.
Yeah.
Um, so that is, you know, it's interesting. Wholesale is definitely tricky. And the other thing that I've learned is that not everything that claims to be wholesale is wholesale. You know,
Mhm.
that's another thing you learn real quick. Just keep that in mind. I see Cody and Butch, they're about to throw down. Butch has been to Cody's area, so oh man. Oh man. It was funny because people made a big deal that they're like, people were joking around when I was at Scan Power, like, oh, we're gonna go out and buy all the bras at Kohl's when the conference is over. And I drove down the street from the conference. I spent like $1,800 on bras. So I guess nobody did a good job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. You mentioned this earlier. Is there a way to take an ASIN and get the UPC or SKU easier? Yeah. Let me show you. Yeah, you'd be doing a reverse search for that, right? Yeah, you would want to do a bulk reverse search.
Would
And
you
then,
just run a list of ASINs and then download the results and just do no filters?
yeah, so let me show you. Oh, crap. I don't have Storefront Stalker installed. That's dumb. Okay, so like if you use Storefront Stalker, the output from Storefront Stalker is just ASINs in a list, okay? Or I think it's ASINs and prices. Okay, so oh, okay, she's like, I don't see how to get the UPC easily. Well, like, so iPhone 7. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing my screen here. So you can come down here and it should in the product features give you this might be a dumb one to look at. Let me look at another product here, wheat germ. By the way, best replen I ever had. And then I ran out of inventory, couldn't buy it anymore. So there's UPC for it. So it's on the store page. I mean, again, if you wanted to storefront stock, like here would be an example you could do. You could do iPhone. This is by Apple. You could run storefront stalker on the Apple storefront here, grab all the ASINs and the prices, delete the prices, you don't need them. Then, well, I guess you could, well, I don't know, you don't really need them. You could then run that through TA to get the UPCs using a reverse search, then potentially run some sort of search through BrickSeek and see if you see, oh crap, you know, that iPhone's really on sale or something like that. Does that make sense, Dave?
Yeah, that made sense to me.
Okay. So, I mean, that's like, I know it's so weird because you end up like doing all these steps and it like seems so counterintuitive. But like at the end of the day, like none of them are very hard. Like, you know, the scan for, if you guys, by the way, if you guys don't have storefront stalker, check this out. It'll pull the ASINs off of any seller account. So like if you're like, I don't know, you have somebody that's a competitor of yours and you're like, hey, where are they buying their stuff? You can see it that way with storefront stalker. It's really good. Nate McAllister made it. And it also adds functionality to TA. Do you use storefront stalker?
Yeah, I use it mostly for like categories of products. Like you could go to, if you're doing toys and games, you could search toys and games, then click on action figures.
Yep.
And then click on 5 or 4 stars and up. And you can even filter like a price range and then just grab all the ASINs that meet that criteria.
So let me show you. This is what he's talking about here, what Dave's talking about here. So this is only available if you have storefront stalker. So I could do action figures, all. We'll just do all action figures. Let me set my last use. I'm going to be a little bit picky on this. I'm only going to do 200,000. And then what do you want for an average? What would you do for an average rating? 3?
Yeah, maybe 3 or 3.5.
Let's do 3.5. And let's do remove if more than less than 5 reviews. Let's be real picky. Okay. And this is just going to go through the top best sellers. I think it goes up to 100,000, but I might be wrong on that. And let's do we'll do a min of $1. And so the reason I like to set this so low is because we're not setting any sales in. You know, if some place is having a 50% off sale, TA can't know that. So, you know, with a coupon code or something. So I just set it real low. Like we could even just do it 0 and 0. It'll just show us suppliers for the products. Okay, if we do it that way. But we could do it 1 and 10. Okay, and then we submit that. And it'll start running. That's only available if you have Storefront Stalker Pro. So it is a pretty cool feature.
And you can even do that like right on Amazon. Like just click the filters on Amazon.
Yeah.
And then you can click on run all ASINs and Storefront Stalker will download a list of ASINs for that whatever filters you put in.
Yep. And it's so useful. Also doing that for like Amazon flips and stuff like that. It's a really, really useful product. So, so did anybody else have any questions? You know, we've been here about an hour and a half. We got 24 people watching. Anybody got any questions? So Dave, you went to college for culinary, you said?
No, I did hospitality and accounting.
Okay.
So
like hospitality management?
Yeah.
I was talking to a little kid one time. You know how, like, you know, if you ever meet like an 8 or 9-year-old, it's a great question. Like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? Kid looks me dead in the eyes and says, I want to manage a hotel. What? Like,
he's probably going to do it if he already knows.
oh, man. I think anybody can manage a hotel.
Yeah.
Butch, when you're here, you know what? Butch, you're not muted. You can ask your question if you want.
Is that the storefront stalker or the bulk list builder?
Yeah, there's no discount right now for storefront stalker that I'm aware of, unless so Nate's doing something with it tonight where he's adding a new feature or something. So there might be a discount laying around for that in a like when this is over. Okay. But storefront stalker is $200. I will tell you, like, it is, I think it's worth it. Now, you know, yeah, so yeah, bulk list builder is really good. I don't know. I like bulk list builder. I'm coming out with a software for TA also that's going to be kind of not similar to bulk list builder, like in the same functionality, but to add functionality to not only tactical arbitrage but to inventory lab, App Eagle, and BQL. And
I'm excited to see what you come up with.
Yeah, I think you've set the bar pretty high.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, any new features coming, Dave?
Yes. Working on a couple things with my developer right now. I'm trying to make it so you can change the controls for how you select links just so it's more compatible with all types of computers, because it really depends on like I don't know, like what operating system you're using and things like that. So I'm trying to make that customizable and also make it so you can like name your file and stuff before you download. So there's a couple changes coming soon, hopefully, that will make things better.
Yeah, that'll be nice because like I'm at my office right now. I'm on my laptop, but you know I usually use a full-size keyboard like such. Okay, but when I'm at home, with like when I'm at home, I use a gaming keyboard. So I have a whole layout of extra keys, and I actually have like dedicated keys that I set for, and it would be nice because I custom map my keys and then I color code my keys. My keyboard is a multicolored keyboard. So I actually select what I'm doing and it'll set up keys in different colors for me. So that, like when I'm running TA, I can pull different commands for TA and stuff like that. So Cody asked, you know, what's the next shoe brand? Yeah, by the way, I will tell you right now, I don't want to turn this into an advertisement for mechanical keyboards. But if you're ever at Walmart, go over to the gaming keyboard section and click on a keyboard there. Do you use a mechanical keyboard, Dave?
I do not know.
Okay. It will change your life to start using a mechanical keyboard. I actually have a mechanical keyboard on my laptop. I can show you guys what it looks like since I'm using a webcam here, okay? And not only is my keyboard mechanical, but it's backlit, okay? And I don't think you can hear it, but it's a real hard top thud when you type into it. And it really changes the way you type. Much better, much more ergonomic. Ergonomic, I don't know. But as far as like what the next brand is, well, I will tell you right now, I would be looking at what Nike owns and avoiding it potentially. So you might want to avoid brands like Hurley. They own Hurley. I forget who else they own. They own several brands. Jordan, definitely but they usually call Nike Jordans. Converse. Okay. Whereas like with Adidas owns Rockport. And then of course Adidas, and then several other brands. And, you know, I don't know. I haven't seen too much with things being restricted with Adidas, and Adidas is starting to sell better online. So I mean, I do very well with Adidas. I do very well with Asics, with New Balance, pretty much any brand of shoe I do. So what apps am I using besides for TA and Amazon? So why don't you answer that, Dave?
I don't use too much. I use TaxJar for taxes, and then I use Feedback Genius for reviews, and then I use TA, and that's pretty much it, I think.
Have you tried out Bulk List Builder?
Oh, yeah. Obviously, I use that, and Storefront Stalker.
Okay. So here, I'll show you guys what I use. Okay. So I use Ebates. You use Ebates, right, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just included the ones I pay for. But yeah,
Bulk List Builder. I use Keepa. If you guys aren't familiar with what Keepa does, it shows you the Keepa chart right on the Amazon page. Ooh, fermented wheat germ extract capsules. That sounds like a hoot. Okay, so you got the sales rank and the chart right there. Very, very nice. I use Bulk List Builder, Storefront Stalker. I use an extension called How Many. How Many I don't have it on this computer here, but what How Many does is it does, you can click it and it shows you a spreadsheet of all of the reviews on different shoe, like I use a lot in clothing, so I can pull up and see like what size is the most popular size and that kind of stuff. I use that. I use Inventory Lab, App Eagle. I used to use BQL, but I no longer use BQL. I use Key Magic. I have 2 Amazon accounts, so one I reprice with App Eagle, one I reprice with Key Magic. Both of them work pretty well. So I said Inventory Lab, App Eagle. I think that's it. I'm starting to use Kim Conklin's VA service for reimbursements. I haven't started doing it yet, but I was using Reimbursement Ninja, and I was unhappy with the customer service. So Kim should provide hopefully provides better customer service. I haven't used the product yet, so that's why I'm like not saying anything. But I am not using Jungle Scout. I mean, I've used it for private label, but here's the thing. Let me tell you something. I hate Jungle Scout, okay? So same reason I hate rank charts, okay? People say to me, yeah, so Jungle Scout says that this will sell 80 a month. I will tell you right now that Jungle Scout is not accurate. It's just not. It's just not, okay? Sales rank, let's go back to the split screen here. Okay, so you enter a number into Jungle Scout and you say, Jungle Scout, if I have an item that is selling 70, it's a 73,000 rank, how many is it going to sell? And Jungle Scout will tell you, it'll sell this many a month. Well, look, on the 9th or on the 10th, this was 73,000. And then 2 days later it was 18,000. So if you entered that into Jungle Scout, it would give you an entirely different estimate. What happened in 2 days? Why is the sales estimate going to be different? Now you can enter the average over time. Definitely that helps. You get that from the statistics here. Still not an accurate estimate. I've had products where I'm the only FBA seller and I've checked what I should be selling in Jungle Scout and it's not accurate. Okay? So I don't consider Jungle Scout to be inaccurate anything. It's not a guess. It's not anything. You may as well just throw a dart at a wall and pick a number, and that's Jungle Scout for you.
Yeah, I think there's nothing better than looking at the Keepa chart when it comes to estimating sales volume. How do you get the 2 Keepa charts? That's what Jimmy asked. I think there's like a button near the bottom that opens up the second one.
Oh, I know what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so more historical data. And I only have that on, because sometimes it's interesting to see, the pricing will shift, when less people come in. So, or you'll see, out of stocks and stuff like that. So it's just kind of a little interesting.
Then is there clear videos that shows how to read Keepa?
I do. You can, my Facebook group is Superhero Sellers FBA, and just search Superhero Sellers and it'll pull up my Facebook group. I have some videos there that you can take a look at.
I know that Sean Mayo does some on Keepa as well.
Yeah. Is there a video? Okay. What is the name again? A URL? Why? I'm Sam. What were you asking? I'm sorry. I missed what your question was here. Oh, okay. I do not know. Give me 1 second here, and I'll tell you what hers is. Again, I haven't used it, so I don't want to give a review on something I've never used. So I'm not. Okay, and you can message her, and man, I don't know what hers is, but this is her. This is her account. This is her Facebook. Okay, Kim, and then and Perry, Kim and Perry's Corner, or Perry and Kim's Corner. That's their Facebook account, and it's a good, or their Facebook page, and it's a pretty good page to be a member of. Are you asking me if I have in fact been to Gulf Shores? I've been there. I did a 20-state RA vacation about 2 years ago. I rented a car, drove all over the country. Basically drove from Pennsylvania down to Florida, out south and back up to Pennsylvania. Crashed in New Orleans for a couple days. That was pretty intense. It's fun. You ever been to New Orleans, Dave?
I have not, no.
You got to go. You got to be 21, but you got to go.
I know. I got to get to whenever the next reseller conference is. So I don't know. What's the next big one coming up?
Chicago, Ecom.
Yeah. When is that?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Oh, man. Okay, listen. I messed up my flights. Okay. I had to book a flight. I left Pittsburgh. So me and two people left Pittsburgh, okay? Flew to Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Then from Denver, one of us flew back to Pittsburgh. I flew to Portland, and then from Portland back to Pittsburgh. I messed up every flight, every single one of them. So now I'm going to start having my manager just do all of that, because apparently I can't be trusted. Dates, times are not good for me. So I don't know. I'm going to get her to do that. Now, then there's going to be ASD. That's going to be the end of August, end of July. And if you want to go, it's in Vegas. So you're going to, it's going to be 180 degrees, give or take.
Oh, that's how hot
Celsius.
It is here in Florida. So
it's a different kind of heat. It's actually a pretty dry heat. I'm pretty excited about it.
mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind. Vegas is fun.
I thought they did that in March.
They do. Yeah, Ecom Chicago is going to be the next one, I think.
Yeah.
There's a couple, October. Then there's going to be the Rock Stars Cruise, which I'm going on. I'm pretty excited about. Yeah, so, and that actually leaves out of Miami. How far are you from Miami?
Like a couple hours.
You should consider it, man.
How much is that one?
I don't know. It's, I don't know. You'd have to look, actually, I have to get my passport. It's Rock Stars at Sea.
You can probably look it up on their Facebook page, right?
Got it. Yeah. It's October 16th.
Nice.
And we'll share the.
So that's right before Chicago.
There you go. That's the link for it. I'm one of the presenters of it. And the pricing on it, there's like different ways you can go, but it's not very it was pretty affordable when you looked at what you got. Yeah, so like you'd have to see how it breaks down because there's like different tickets. Like you can go, I don't know. You'd have to look at how it works, but
Yeah.
it wasn't crazy expensive. But that I'm pretty excited about. I've never been on a cruise, so I'm either gonna love it or die. I don't know.
Don't get seasick.
Well, hopefully I don't get seasick. I've gone fishing before on boats and I didn't do too bad. So, top tools for RA. For RA, I use Amazon Seller app almost 80% of the time, and then I use Scoutify. Okay, if you guys, okay, Larry, do you use Scoutify now? I will show you guys something cool. I'm not sharing. Okay, give me 1 second here. I got to pull up Scoutify. I actually have a way to pull up Scoutify on my computer. Okay. Takes a moment to load. So if anybody has any more questions while we're doing this, I'll show you guys Scoutify and why I like it so much. So this is Scoutify. And to give you an example of Scoutify, so this is free with Inventory Lab. 885909. Now, on a real phone, you would just scan the barcode. Okay, doesn't work on my computer. Okay, so we pull up the phone here. It's going to show us, you know, the new FBA offers. Somebody's a little crazy there with an about or an A grade phone there, but new. We can also see, you know, where people are listing it for merchant fulfilled and so on. But right there, we see that the O is owns buy box. Okay, but what we can do, and this is what I love so much about it, we can go into camel right in the app.
That's pretty cool. Would you say that's like the main upside to Scoutify over the Seller app?
Yep.
Is the data? Yeah.
Yeah. So let me show you this. Let's say we want to see pie face. Actually, okay. Here, let me show you this. This is a better example. Bali bra. Okay, this is what I love it for. And if anybody doesn't have Inventory Lab now and wants to get a subscription to it, private message me. I can give you a discount code for Inventory Lab for your first month. I think you get like 20 bucks off or something like that. So this is a product, you know, I just scan this in, you know, I pick it up at the store, I scan it. Okay. Well, I don't know, is $23 a reasonable price? I can click here to Prime, and I'll actually pull the Prime listing up. And it's showing me, you know, what's available here. Okay. And then I can come over here and actually click on the offer for it and see like what the average pricing is on it. I went back too far, one too far. But, you know, so I can, you know, if I pick that up and like it was $90, let's say, you know, if I actually look at it in the Prime offer, I can see, oh, $90 is unreasonable. It's actually really a $40 bra or something like that. So that's very helpful. If I do pie face here,
Butch asked if you're restricted for Bali.
no, I am not. Okay, so for pie face, and do Keepa, pull up the Keepa chart right in the app. In fact, it's actually pretty fast in store. This is just being kind of annoying right now for whatever reason. But that's it. It's simple, but it works very well. I like how it looks. I look at this, spend a lot of time in store looking at these things. So it's nice to me to be able to, have a nice comforting thing to look at. I think I'm not really in love with some of the other apps that are out there. I think they look really ugly. So I like that this is actually nice looking. I think it looks good. Just got it. Ever spend time or RA in NEPA? Do you mean Northeast PA? Yes, absolutely. Scranton area, Wilkes-Barre area, Stroudsburg, up towards the New York line? Absolutely. Am I restricted in Bali? No. Faster in the sort? Yeah. It gets slow because I'm literally running Linux and Windows to run Android. So it's like 3 operating systems at once. So you scan a barcode and only brings up the UPC barcode, but no product. Now here I'll show you guys my phone here, so it gives a little bit better explanation of it. It's not going to look real good. No. So like after you scan something, sorry. Okay, so after you scan something, that's what it pulls up. Okay, it actually does pull up the listing. Okay, so actually I could probably just show it better. After you hit scan in store, that's what it pulls up. I'm only having to enter that because I don't have a phone, a camera to use. That's all. So after you hit scan, it'll pull up this. So when you scan it, okay, I've sold tons of them and checked weeks ago, and now other people never received any notices. Yeah, Ben, send me a message. I head up that area all the time. Butch, private message me about it. I think we actually did talk about it already, but private message me about it. I might have a solution for you about Bali that I can help you out with. So listen, I wanted to do this for about 2 hours. We got about 10 minutes left. Does anybody have any more questions? Okay, so what I'll do here, just so that we bring this back here, if you don't already have TA, okay, I'm going to show this in the chat. That's a code for TA, and you get a discount with that, I believe, and you get an extended trial with it. For Storefront Stalker, there may be a discount later, but that's the Storefront Stalker link for it. And then this is the bulk list builder link that, or here, let me do it like this so it makes sense. That's the bulk list builder, and if you use BLB1, you get $20 off for being in this webinar. So, if that's anything you guys are interested in, please let me know. I hope everybody enjoyed the webinar. I might send out like a survey or something because, this is the first time I've done like this kind of style of webinar. So I want to make sure, I did it good, did it well. I should, me talk pretty. The bulk list builder, how's that?
I'm just going to leave it open all through tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. But I definitely learned a lot. This is a great webinar.
Thank you. I learned a lot too. I'm happy.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I think so many people, if I had to say, the failure that I see the most with tactical arbitrage is just people not being creative and being afraid to fail. And, like, I understand when your money's on the line, but like sometimes, like, I'll talk to people and it's not even stuff that money's involved in. I'm like, why aren't you doing this? And I'm like, well, I think I might mess it up. And I'm like, okay, so what happens if you mess it up? Like, what happens? Like, you literally run a bad scan in tactical arbitrage that costs you nothing. You know what I mean? Like a little bit of wasted time. That's it. So, I wish that people would get more daring and more creative, because that's how you do well. And I mean, it's a pretty audacious thing, what Dave did with bulk list builder, but it's been very successful. It's been successful, and I hope to see him pushing out a lot more apps in the near future. Yeah, I know what you mean, Larry. I mean, I kind of grew up, like everybody always told me I was a smart kid for some reason. And really what I've learned, what it's kind of done is like giving me like this crippling sometimes feeling of like, I don't want to mess that up. But at the same time, then I'm like, it's just a real bad cycle. So like, that's the thing. Like whenever I go into something, I always say, well, what's going to happen if I fail? And like I'm launching this private label product. I spent $500 on a private label product. I'm going to have it in a couple days. Well, if I fail, I've lost $500. Like, yeah, $500 is a lot of money, but it's also not a lot of money. I spend $500 at Walgreens, that's not that big a deal. So, and another product I'm launching, I spent $158 on. Again, if I fail, I lose $158. Like, it's not that big a deal, and that's what I have to look at. What's the worst that'll happen? I'm out, $658. But what's the best that could happen? I become a millionaire because I had the best private label products in the world, Sam says I spent $500 at the bar last week. What? Were you with me at Vegas? Because we did that accidentally. I don't want to talk about that night. And it was more than that. Not that I remember. Well, that means you might have been with me in Vegas, Sean. You never know. So, man, Dave, you gotta get out to Vegas. Is that something you think you could do?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to go to the next one.
Well, it's in August. It's the end of July, early August. So, private message me because I have an Airbnb all set up, and we're gonna see about who all we can get space for and stuff, and we'll go from there with it. But you should be able. I'm sure Nate and Alex might let you stay with them. You never know. You might get that royalty.
Yeah, VIP.
VIP status.
Yeah,
you get to hang out with the hummingbird.
Oh,
So
yeah.
anyway, guys, I want to really, really thank Dave for joining us tonight. And
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, I'm real happy about it, and I hope that this I hope that you guys learned something. I hope you saw how I ran TA. Looking here at what I got that reverse search I did. I got 15 products added to my reverse search, and then the scan I've been running this whole time that I made with the bulk list, I have 6 products added, but it's only been about an hour, so that's not too bad. I don't know, maybe those weren't the best bulk lists, but it doesn't really matter too much. So I hope you guys all learned something. If anybody has any questions, message Dave. If you have any questions about bulk list builder, anything about TA, message me. You guys, I think, are in my group, Superhero Sellers. Check it out, superherosellers.com. And let me know if I can do anything for you guys. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.